Okay, students, so please pay attention. When you're speaking about with this topic, gravitation, students, what exactly the term gravitation actually speaks about, students? It speaks about simply attractive forces. So whenever somebody asks you, students, listen carefully. If you can ask you what exactly gravitational force we consider, then it's a vector quantity, students. This particular gravitational force, students, to keep in mind, it's purely attractive. So if I use the word gravitational force, it's purely attractive. And students, it is a force of attraction between any two material bodies in the universe. Any two material bodies in the universe we consider. That's why I'm using simply word gravitational force. लेकिन ध्यान से सुना students. Suppose if I use the word gravitational force of Earth, please take care of this. If I use gravitational force of the Earth, or simply if I ask you gravity, are you getting it? Then in that case, it's simply speaking about the force exerted by the Earth on a body. So gravitational force of the Earth, or simply gravity, or simply the pull of the Earth, simply the pull of the Earth, or I can say the normal reaction force onto a body. If I speak about the normal reaction force onto a body, or simply I can consider as the weight of the body. The entire I can consider simply m into g. Students, is this clear to all of you all? Gravitational force of the Earth, the word gravity, the word pull of the Earth, the word normal reaction force, the weight of the body is simply mg. Is this clear to all of you all?
Yes, sir.
ध्यान से सुनो students. अगर मैं बोलूं gravitational force of the earth यानी उसका मतलब क्या? ध्यान से सुनो students. If I consider myself to be, if I consider Earth to be a huge mass, and these constant values you should know it, students. Okay, this chapter you'll be picking it up later on. Okay, students recently of class 12, just a month ago, they have finished with gravitation. Okay, so now when we speak about for mass, the mass of the Earth we consider is 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. Students, it's a round up value I'm taking it. Mass of the Earth is 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. Students, suppose if you consider myself to be on the Earth's surface, students, I'll consider myself to be as a point mass. तो मेरा मास और अर्थ के मास के बीच में जो डिस्टेंस है वो कैपिटल आर होगा, रेडियस ऑफ द अर्थ. व्हाट इज द रेडियस ऑफ द अर्थ? आई कंसीडर विल बी द रेडियस ऑफ द अर्थ आई कंसीडर विल बी इक्वल टू हाउ मच? 6.4 into 10 to the power of 6 meters, students. It's actually 6,400 kilometers, students. तो ये जो मैंने बोला है, ध्यान से सुनना, ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स ऑफ द अर्थ, उसका मतलब it's a force exerted by the earth on a body of mass small m. Where is the small m is placed? The small m is placed on the earth's surface. तो ये क्या बन गया? Gravitational force of the earth. अगर किसी ने पूछा what is the gravitational force of the earth acting onto me, students? Gravitational force exerted by the earth onto me, students. If one asks you, तो मेरा आंसर होगा simply equal to my own weight, m into g. Now, if in case if somebody asks what is the gravity acting onto me, then too also I'll call as m into g. If somebody asks you what is the pull of the earth acting onto me, again I'll consider it's m into g. If somebody asks what is the normal reaction force, then this is the force exerted by the earth from the center of to the center of the earth. There's one more force called the normal reaction force. This normal reaction force, students, the normal reaction force, students, is always a reaction to the action. To every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. So normal reaction है क्या? Weight of the body. Now suppose students, if I ask you a simple question, students, मुझे ये बताओ students, what makes you to feel that you possess weight, or what makes you to say that you possess weight? Chalo, can you tell me that?
The gravitational pull.
The gravitational pull. I again ask you the question: what makes you to say that you possess weight? That's my question. See, somebody said it. Who's that? Who's that? Kirti, you said it?
Yes.
Kirti? Parthu also said it. Normal reaction force. Of course, normal reaction force. Students, normal reaction force की वजह से तुम्हें feel होता है कि तुम्हारे पास you possess weight. कैसे? एक simple example मैं देता हूँ students. Listen carefully. Suppose you are coming down from the 50th floor from an elevator. Okay? Elevator से तुम नीचे आ रहे हो, lift से नीचे आ रहे हो, 50th floor से नीचे आ रहे हो. and all of a sudden at 48th floor नीचे का फ्लोर चला जाता है. Think 50th फ्लोर से तुम नीचे आ रहे हो, 40th फ्लोर पे पहुंचे हो, उस टाइम पे द फ्लोर चला जाता है नीचे से. जब तक फ्लोर था तब तक कितने फोर्सेस एक्ट हो रहे थे? तुम बोलोगे सर मेरा खुद का वेट जो नीचे की तरफ जा रहा था, एक नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स ऊपर की तरफ एक्ट हो रहा था. दोनों फोर्सेस इक्वल इन मैग्नेटिक ऑपोजिट इन डायरेक्शन थे. लेकिन जैसे ही नीचे का फ्लोर चला गया तो क्या हुआ? नीचे का फ्लोर चला गया तो उसका मतलब क्या हुआ? नॉर्मल रिएक्शन फोर्स जीरो हो गया. रिएक्शन फोर्स आया नहीं क्योंकि सरफेस ही नहीं है. Normal reaction force is exerted by the surface, directed normally, passing through my center of gravity. That's my navel point, and it's going vertically upwards. वो force ही zero हो गया. अगर वो normal reaction force zero होगा, तो where exactly I'm going to go down? I'm going to go down as a free fall. तो किसकी वजह से जा रहा हूँ? Because of mg. So will I feel any weight at that moment? No. I'm not going to feel any weight. Why? Because that is a feeling of weightlessness. Are you getting it? So if one asks you what is the reason for one to consider that possesses weight, your answer should be because of the normal reaction force. If in case if I ask you what exactly the weight of the body is, so we consider its mass into gravitational acceleration. So these terms are simply related to Earth mass body. The answer is no, Earth mass objects we consider. But when I purely go for gravitational force, students, then it's purely a force of attraction and it acts between any two material bodies in the universe. Is this clear to all of you first?
Yes, sir.
Please do respond, do reply so that I can move further ahead. I'll erase it and I'll move further ahead. It should not be like that. You take your whole time to respond in that case.
Sir?
Okay, yeah.
Sir, you're teaching from any book?
Pardon?
Sir, you're teaching from any book?
No, I'm teaching from the NCERT syllabus itself only. Why?
No, sir, I want to get a book, that's why.
You can refer to your NCERT books. You can keep your books open. You can keep whatever books, if you have your ISC books or NCERT books or whatever it is, you can keep it open. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
If you have any query also from that, you can ask regarding when I pause myself or if that part is done.
Yes, sir, for that.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. It's only that when I halt myself or when I give a break in between if I have some breathing space in between the matter, we can raise your questions. Doesn't matter.
Yes, sir.
Now, please pay attention. Okay. Please, your matter is completely with respect to your NCERT department. Okay, don't worry. Now, students, when you're speaking about your gravitational force, students, where does this gravitational force come? Under what category it comes into? It comes under classification of forces के अंदर. Students, जो gravitational force आता है वो classification of force के अंदर आता है. So in short, एक quick classification में बता देता हूँ students. अगर किसी ने पूछा classify, okay, अगर मुझे force को classify करना है, students ध्यान से सुनना. Of course, कहती है, absolutely correct. Classification of force के अंदर ये तुम्हारा two categories है, students. एक होता है तुम्हारा real force और एक होता है pseudo force. What is it? One you consider as real force, the other one you consider as pseudo force we consider. Okay, Chinani, Naina, Parthvi, South is also there. Soumya is also there. Great. Shona is also there. Viti, Yash, good.
So what is pseudo force?
Coming to it. So pseudo force we consider as an imaginary force. Okay, imaginary force. A simple illustration इसका देता हूँ. ध्यान से सुनना students. You must have learned in lower standard students. You must have learned in lower standards. A car is moving in the forward direction. Suppose your dad is driving and you're behind, and your dad applies brakes. So will you have a forward jerk or a backward jerk?
Forward jump.
Forward jerk. Now at that time your dad asks you a question. तो आगे क्यों आया? क्या मैंने तेरे को खींचा? He raised a question to you, student. He's driving and he applied a brake. You all of a sudden he came forward. He raised a question to you. Did I pull you? What made you to come forward? What will be your answer? Could not answer. Exactly same question was raised to Sir Isaac Newton. Even Newton could not answer. न्यूटन जस्ट टोल्ड अस टू बिलीव कि शायद कोई फोर्स है, क्योंकि तुम आगे आए हो सूरज, आगे आए हो यानी किसी ने तो खींचा होगा, कोई तो फोर्स होगा तभी आगे, बिकॉज देयर शुड बी अ पुश और अ पुल, उसके बिना तो होगा नहीं। जो तुम लोग ने लोअर स्टैंडर्ड में पढ़ा था वो इनर्शिया ऑफ मोशन, ऑल स्टूडेंट्स, दैट इज नॉट फोर्स, इनर्शिया इज नॉट अ फोर्स। Please students, mind you, must have started with laws of motion. Students, inertia is not a force. Inertia is simply tendency of a body. When you're going with laws of motion, Newton's laws of motion, अगर तुम शुरू करोगे तो वहां पे तुम पढ़ोगे। Inertia is what? Tendency of a body to maintain its state. Inertia is simply measure of mass, students. It's not a force. It's a measurable quantity. It's a physical quantity which measures mass, we consider. तो तुम आगे क्यों आए? तुम आगे क्यों आए? यही क्वेश्चन न्यूटन को पूछा गया, लेकिन न्यूटन आंसर नहीं दे सका। So that's inertia. Partly what you're putting is that's inertia. But inertia is not the cause for you to move forward. You tend to move forward. That is the tendency of a body to maintain. But you move forward, that is because of some force. So that is what kind of force we consider. It's pseudo or imaginary force. अभी दोनों के बीच में डिस्टिंग्विशिंग क्या है? रियल फोर्सेस, स्टूडेंट्स, रियल फोर्सेस आर दोस फोर्सेस जिसके ओरिजिन होते हैं, जिनका सोर्स भी होता है। Forces which has origin and source are called real force. Forces जिसका no origin and no source are called to be pseudo force. Right now, I give you an example. A simple example, one more. Your dad is driving and he takes a sharp right. He takes a sharp right turn. Where exactly will you tend to move towards? Left hand side. So what's the reason for you to go on the left hand side? What's the reason behind it? There is a pseudo force, a kind of a fugal, centrifugal force, a radially outward force. But did somebody pull you? No. Same question was raised to Sir Isaac Newton. No. A simple example that when you gain speed, suppose if you happen to go for a merry-go-round, this is the axis of rotation, students. You actually along a merry-go-round, these are sitting chairs you consider, all are at a certain distance from each other. Now suppose if in case all of a sudden the speed increases. So as the speed increases, will you tend to go away from the axis or come closer? As the speed increases.
Away.
You go away. Yani somebody is trying to drag you. There should be some force to pull you. But you don't have any force because such forces has no origin, no source. Those are called as pseudo forces. Students, Newton laws of motion cannot be obeyed in pseudo forces called imaginary forces. I repeat, Newton's laws of motion cannot be obeyed over here, but Newton's laws of motion can be obeyed over here. Our studies goes with real forces we consider. That is has an origin and source. Now these real forces are further classified into two sorts. One is conservative force, other one is non-conservative force. यानी जब तुम laws of motion शुरू करोगे तो यहाँ से ही शुरू होगा तुम्हारा conservative force और non-conservative force. Conservative forces का मतलब क्या? Energy is conserved, energy stored होके रही है. कहाँ पे होगा? So simple example, कोई ऑब्जेक्ट को मैंने यहाँ से लगा के कोई हाइट पे रख दिया तो एनर्जी स्टोर्ड इन द फॉर्म ऑफ ग्रेविटेशनल पोटेंशियल एनर्जी. So what are these conservative forces? Conservative forces are gravitational force, electrostatic force, magnetic force. These are all conservative forces. These are all non-contact. That's why somebody partly put forward as non-contact. Kirti also said about non-contact force. Students, non-contact forces are called conservative force. And this comes under what? Real force. Energy is conserved, energy is stored. We are trying to understand this part of your chapter. That's gravitation. Whereas when I speak about non-contact forces, students, these are conservative forces we consider. Non-conservative forces, students, are called contact forces. Non-conservative forces are called contact forces. Energy is dissipated. Force of friction, tension in the string, normal reaction force, force due to collision. I can also go for nuclear force. These are all what we consider as contact forces or non-conservative force. Energy is dissipated. क्या ये clear हुआ? Classification, students?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Now, yes.
sir, what does source means here?
Source, for example, gravitational force. Gravitational force का source क्या है? Earth.
Okay.
Are you getting it? And it's
Yes.
directed from the center of gravity of my body towards the center of the earth. And these are all vectors. And all vectors are represented with a tail and a head. A tail says where exactly it's starting, and the head says where exactly it terminates. Okay, Bhargavi?
Yes, sir.
Okay, what about your other friends? Where are Suhani, Sanjana?
I don't know, sir.
Okay, fine. Okay, students. The gravitational force is purely attractive in nature. Listen carefully, students, okay? So we are trying to go for gravitational force, students. Now we go for the Newton's law of gravitation. The first is the law we consider. That was put forward by Sir Isaac Newton. So Newton's law of gravitation. So what is Newton's law of gravitation? Listen carefully, students. Every particle of matter attracts every other particle of matter. I repeat, every particle of matter attracts every other particle of matter by a force which is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance, inversely proportional to square of the distance between the line joining the center of the two masses. I repeat, students, Newton's law of gravitation states that if M1, the answer is no, if M1 is trying to attract M2, at the same time, M2 is also trying to attract M1. So this is what this arrow speaks about: force. The answer is no. Force exerted on 2 by 1. See the way I'm putting it. Students, I'm writing it F21. So force is exerted on 2 by 1. Yani this part speaks about किस पे इफेक्ट हो रहा है और कौन सोर्स बना हुआ है. This is your sources. So source is which object? 1. Effect किस पे हो रहा है? 2 पे हो रहा है. Now if I speak about it, this is force exerted on 1 by 2. So I can put forward force exerted on 1 by 2. So now there is effect happening onto what? 1. Who is the source over here? 2 students. What about these two forces? They are both equal in magnitude, opposite in direction, students. The force exerted on 2 by 1 or the force exerted on 1 by 2, they are both equal in magnitude. I can put forward in this manner. I can put both under the modulus sign. They're both equal in magnitude and they're opposite in direction. And that was put forward by Newton's law of gravitation. So Newton's law of gravitation states that, listen carefully, every particle of matter attracts every other particle of matter. I repeat, every particle of matter attracts every other particle of matter by a force which is directly proportional to the product of their masses and inversely proportional to square of the distance between the line joining their center of mass. Students, for this particular M1, the center of mass is at the geometrical center. For M2, we consider the center of mass as the geometrical center. If in case if you ask me where exactly my center of mass, it's the navel point. यानी अगर suppose तुम मुझे consider करते हो with respect to the earth surface, तो ये हुआ मेरा center of mass. If I'm consider myself to be M1, the earth to be a huge mass, M2. So it's a line joining the center of mass of my body to the center of mass of the earth we consider. So it's always a force. I'm attracting earth. Students, I'm attracting earth, but at the same time, there's a force exerted by the earth onto me also. लेकिन किसका इफेक्ट ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग रहेगा? किसका इफेक्ट ज्यादा स्ट्रॉन्ग रहेगा? सर, जिसका मास ज्यादा ग्रेटर होगा उसका इफेक्ट ज्यादा रहता है. So now when I speak about Newton's law of gravitation, this is what the statement is. From the statement, one can put forward the mathematical relation. So we speak every particle of matter attracts every other particle of matter by a force which is directly proportional to the product of the masses and inversely proportional, very important, is Square of the distance between the line joining the center of the two masses. ये बहुत important है. You have to say about the line joining the center of the two masses. We consider this is the center of mass and center of mass. Suppose if I speak about center of mass, what is the center of mass for any geometrical shape? Geometrical center. अगर suppose मैंने तुम्हें एक square laminar दिया, suppose मैंने uniform rod दे दिया, चलो ये uniform rod दे दिया, इसका center of mass कहाँ पे होगा? Center, geometrical center, which is within the body. अगर suppose ध्यान से सुना, यही चीज को अगर यही रॉड को लिसन केयरफुली, यही रॉड को मैंने एक थिन वायर, मेरे बाल जितना मैंने एक थिन वायर ले लिया. Students, I'm taking a thin wire, okay, of length L, and if I ask you what is the center of mass, you will say the center of mass is at the geometrical center, L by 2. Length of the wire is L, center of mass will be at L by 2. But where it is inside the matter. लेकिन स्टूडेंट्स अगर उसी वायर को मैंने बेंड कर दिया और मैंने सर्कल बना दिया, उसी वायर को मैंने बेंड करके सर्कल बना दिया, तो where is my center of mass?
Geometric center.
That means, is it so that center of mass should lie within the matter? जरूरी है?
No, not this.
No. It can lie outside the matter, students. It can lie outside the matter. Agreed? That's how we consider. Lekin the force which is directed, the force is always directed from center of mass of the body, where always directed towards the center of the earth. Whenever we show the direction of force, the answer is a direction of gravitational force of any object, always in free body diagrams, जिसको बोलते हैं FBDs, free body diagram, where you show forces. Students, do keep in mind, gravitational force acting on a body is always shown vertically downwards. Always shown vertically downwards. I take a simple example. Simple example if I consider. Suppose ये surface है और मैंने ये block रखा हुआ, students. चलो ये rectangular block है, students. ये rectangular तो ये इसका center of mass है. मैंने पूछा इसका weight किस तरफ जाएगा, तो हमेशा students, because ये एक वेक्टर है स्टूडेंट्स, एक वेक्टर है. वेक्टर को क्या होता है? टेल और हेड. टेल क्या बताता है? कहां से शुरू हो रहा है, हेड कहां की तरफ खत्म हो रहा है. तो अगर मैंने पूछा स्टूडेंट्स, शो द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स एक्टिंग ऑन दिस ब्लॉक बाय शोइंग दिस डायरेक्शन, यानी टेल इज स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम द सेंटर ऑफ मास ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर ब्लॉक, वेयर इट इज हेडेड टुवर्ड्स सेंटर ऑफ द अर्थ, एंड इट्स ऑलवेज परपेंडिकुलर. ये ध्यान में रखना स्टूडेंट्स, हमेशा वर्टिकली डाउनवर्ड्स होगा ये, हमेशा वर्टिकली और परपेंडिकुलरली डाउनवर्ड्स भी कंसीडर. Now the answer is, students, now I change the surface in contact with the body. Please listen carefully. Surface horizontal था, block उसके ऊपर है. अभी सोचो मैंने surface inclined plane दे दिया. Everybody please be with me. Surface is inclined plane. This is the ground and this is theta. अगर मैं बोलूं कि block, ध्यान से सुनना, block is placed on an inclined plane and the block is at rest. Friction की वजह से students surface irregular है, surface के ऊपर irregularity है, और वो irregularity की वजह से block rest पे है. block क्या है? rest पे है. मेरा question है students, where exactly the gravitational force exerted on the block will be directed?
Vertically downwards.
Vertically downward.
Vertically downwards. That's absolutely correct. यानी तुम्हें क्या करना है मालूम है? फ्री बॉडी सीधा उसको परपेंडिकुलर नीचे खींच लो, बस यही दिखाना है हमेशा. लेकिन अगर तुम इमेजिन करो तो ये कहाँ की तरफ जा रहा है, कहाँ की तरफ जा रहा है? तुमने कहा सर सेंटर ऑफ मास ऑफ द बॉडी, और कहाँ की तरफ जा रहा है? सेंटर ऑफ अर्थ की तरफ जा रहा है. अगर सपोज मैं अर्थ देखूं यहाँ पे और मैं अपने आप को यहाँ पे इमेजिन करूँ, ये हमारा सेंटर है, तो ये हुआ मेरा फोर्स. अगर मैं यहाँ पे हूँ तो ये हुआ मेरा. That's how we consider. Now suppose अगर ये ब्लॉक अगर सपोज मैंने वर्टिकल वॉल के ऊपर रखा, सपोज अभी ये ब्लॉक देखो मैंने वर्टिकल वॉल के ऊपर रखा है. दिस इज अ वॉल, दिस इज सेंटर ऑफ मास. Where is a gravitational force acting?
Vertically downwards.
Vertically downwards. So it will be in this direction. Agreed? So students, your gravitational force is purely attractive. Newton's law of gravitation is F proportional to m1 m2 inversely proportional to square root of the distance. The two forces are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction we consider. Now when I put both this under one relation, what am I going to get? The formula which I'm going to get, it will be equal what? F is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square, students, where G stands for universal gravitational constant, students. It's a constant of proportionality. This universal gravitational constant, students, listen carefully, its magnitude remains constant we consider, and the value of G is independent Listen carefully. The value of G is independent of the size, shape, mass of the two bodies, or the material medium between the two bodies. Wherever the two objects are placed, either you place it into vacuum or into air or into water or within the Earth's core, the value of G all the time remains constant throughout. That is why it is called as universal gravitational constant. And that is why this law is called known as Newton's law of gravitation, which speaks about universal constant also. So F is equal to G M1 M2 upon R squared. When one asks you what exactly the magnitude of G is, do you remember the magnitude of G? Students, do anyone remember the value of G? Yes, somebody was saying it. 6 point. Hello? South, you were saying something?
6.626.
Okay, 6.67 into 10 to the power of minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram square inverse. Students, if I make G as a subject, देखो अगर मैं G को subject बना दूं students, तो देखो ना force आ गया, meters का ऊपर चला गया, kilograms का नीचे आ गया, तो ये तुम्हारा आंसर हो गया. Is this clear, students? Students, is this much clear so that I can move further ahead?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now, if I ask you what are the important characteristics of gravitational force, then your answer is gravitational force is purely attractive. Second point, it acts along a line joining the center of the two masses. Third point, it's inversely proportional to square of the distance between the line joining the two masses. That means it obeys inverse square law we consider. These are the three important points we consider. But gravitational force, unlike electrostatic and magnetic, it's only attractive. Electrostatic and magnetic are attractive as well as repulsive. It is a conservative force. Energy can be conserved, stored. Now I'll put forward the formula, students. F is equal to G M1 M2 upon R squared, students. But the value of G I'll consider is 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram square inverse. One can also ask you dimensions of G. You get dimensions of G if I consider, then it will be kilogram meter second square inverse into meter square, that becomes meter cube. Kilogram raised to minus 2 plus 1, so it's minus marks. Your dimensions are m raised to minus 1, L raised to 3, T raised to minus 2. Students, if you happen to see your books also, textbooks, maybe you must have come across these dimensions over there. I repeat, Newton is kilogram meter second square inverse, mass into acceleration. मीटर स्क्वायर अगर मैं मीटर से मल्टीप्लाई करता हूं तो मीटर क्यूब हो जाएगा. किलोग्राम रेस टू माइनस 2 किलोग्राम रेस टू प्लस 1 होगा तो ये माइनस 1 हो जाएगा. किलोग्राम के लिए मैंने मास लिख दिया m रेस टू माइनस 1, लेंथ रेस टू 3, टाइम रेस टू माइनस 2. This becomes the dimensions of gravitational constant. And students, this value remains independent of shape, size, nature of the two bodies, or the material medium between the two bodies. That's why it is called as universal gravitational constant. To take care of this. Now let us understand this formula based on your vectors. Listen carefully, students, because simply one can go for principle of superposition of forces also here. Gravitational force we consider. Okay, and the gravitational field we consider. So let us go for vector form. The answer is in. Now I've taken two objects. This is M1, M2. Center of mass of M1, center of mass of M2. Now I'll consider two cases because see, it's a force exerted by either of them, students. It's a force exerted by either of them. M1, M2. At a distance r apart from each other. At a distance r apart from each other. So अगर पहला केस में students, if I say force is exerted on 2 by 1, force is exerted on 2 by 1, on 2 by 1, तो इफेक्ट हो रहा है 2 पे, तो 2 इस तरफ जाएगा। तो ये हुआ तुम्हारा लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ फोर्स, ये तुम्हारा फोर्स दिखा रहा है। मुझे ये बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, ये जो आर है ये है पोजीशन वेक्टर। स्टूडेंट्स नाउ टेल मी हु विल शो द पोजीशन। Will you ask, listen carefully, will you ask the source where is the effect, or will you ask the effect where is the source? Who will show the position vector?
Effect.
Yes. I repeat. Let me put forward my question once again. Please, everybody be with me. Listen carefully. Try to understand, students. Okay. The answer is, students. मैंने ये बोला कि if I say the force is exerted on 2 by 1, see how to read this. Force exerted on 2 by 1, तो 2 पे effect हो रहा है और 1 तुम्हारा source बन गया है। ये R is a position vector. Everybody has learned about vectors. Position vector. What exactly position vector speaks about? It shows the instantaneous position of the particle. If I want to show a position vector in a rectangular plane, in a rectangular coordinates, how do you locate them, students? Tell me, students. If I want to locate position vector in 3D, 3-dimensional, so how do you represent it as?
From that point, we draw a vector from the origin.
Yes, from the origin, and it can draw in any of the rectangular, means it's within the rectangular coordinates x, y, z plane. So
Yeah.
it has Rx plus Ry and Rz. So Rxi cap, Ryz cap, and Rz is R3 x, y, and z. So that's the position vector we consider. How to find out the magnitude of that position vector? How do you find out the magnitude of that position vector?
Square root of Rx.
Under root of R square.
Rx square plus Ry square plus Rz square. Absolutely correct. तो यहाँ पे भी तुम्हारा पोजीशन वेक्टर कौन दिखाएगा? सोर्स दिखाता है स्टूडेंट्स। तुम सोर्स को पूछोगे भाई किस पे इफेक्ट कर रहा है, सोर्स को पूछोगे कि इफेक्ट कहाँ पे, तो पोजीशन वेक्टर कौन दिखाता है? द आंसर इज स्टूडेंट्स, पोजीशन वेक्टर इज ऑलवेज शोन बाय 1 where it is 2. ये ध्यान में रखो। Please students, when you try to look at the equations, many students, if you try to go through your books with a different reference books also, you go for it, वहाँ पे वेक्टर फॉर्म में लिखा होगा, लेकिन ये ऑपोजिट लिखते हैं वो। स्टूडेंट्स यहाँ पे कंफ्यूज हो जाते हैं, अरे ये क्या और ये क्या है, ये तो फोर्स इज एक्सर्टेड ऑन 2 by 1। पोजीशन कौन दिखाता है? One will say that where exactly 2 is. So this becomes a position. Now if I want to write on this in vector form, so how do I write on? How do I write on? So my formula will be, students, minus G m1 m2 upon r cube r1 to bar. Is this clear, students? क्या ये formula correct है? As per vectors.
Sir, could you repeat this once again?
My formula for gravitational force, the answer is now, my formula for gravitational force between two masses, m1 and m2, students, is represented in vector form as force exerted on 2 by 1 is equal to minus G m1 m2 upon r cube r12, vector r12. Is this a correct mathematical way of representation of gravitational force in vector form? Or it's incorrect? Is it the correct way of writing it, or it's incorrect?
I think it's not correct.
It's not correct. Pawan, Anuja, Gauri, Chinani, Meera, Parthvi, Shwana, Shreyas, Vidhi, Udit. Okay. Now see, I'm trying to change this. Listen carefully, I'm trying to change this. Is it right or wrong?
That's right.
So now it is.
Yes, sir, now it is right.
Pardon?
Now it is right.
तो ये पहले भी सही था, क्योंकि स्टूडेंट्स ये वेक्टर फॉर्म में लिखा है, अभी मैंने इसको यूनिट वेक्टर फॉर्म में किया है. व्हाट इज द डेफिनेशन ऑफ अ यूनिट वेक्टर स्टूडेंट्स? A unit vector is the ratio of vector to its magnitude, students, which all of you all know it. ये किस फॉर्म में मैंने लिखा था? मैंने वेक्टर फॉर्म में, मैंने पोजीशन वेक्टर वेक्टर फॉर्म में लिखा था. ध्यान से सुनना स्टूडेंट्स, ये नेगेटिव साइन क्या दिखाता है स्टूडेंट्स? ये नेगेटिव साइन दिखाता है कि फोर्स एंड पोजीशन वेक्टर आर इन ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन. स्टूडेंट्स, एवरीबॉडी लिसन केयरफुली. ये जो नेगेटिव साइन दिखाता है कि फोर्स और पोजीशन वेक्टर दोनों ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन में है, ये वो नेगेटिव साइन दिखाता है. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ स्टूडेंट्स? See, the force is exerted in this direction. Position vector will be in the direction opposite, because position is shown by 1, where it's 2. If you ask me, I'm exerting a force onto some body. That body is going to come towards me, but you'll ask me, where is that body? So I'm going to point in that direction. So see my hand. The position vector will be in the direction opposite to the motion of the body we consider. सबसे पहले क्या ये क्लियर हुआ? ये नेगेटिव साइन के बारे में क्लियर हुआ स्टूडेंट्स?
Yes.
एवरीबॉडी. यानी ये ध्यान रखना, अगर कोई वेक्टर फॉर्म में इसको एक्सप्रेशन में लिखता है तो नेगेटिव साइन व्हाई डू वी राइट डाउन? द रीजन फॉर पुटिंग नेगेटिव स्टूडेंट्स, दैट सेज दैट द फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन 2/1 is equal in magnitude but opposite in direction to the other force, but at the same time it's opposite to your position vector. Now suppose if I want to write down in terms of my law, see my denominator is r cube, this is r bar. Students, what is r bar? What is r bar? Will be equal to what? We consider this r bar is equal to r cap into r. So it's r cap into r. R cap stands for unit vector. What is a unit vector? A unit vector simply shows a direction, its magnitude is 1. Now when I put r, cancelling it, am I getting my original formula back? Agreed? What is this negative sign over here? Shows that the force and the position vector we consider are both of them in the direction opposite. क्या ये clear हुआ students? Now, if I want to write it in magnitude, then what's the formula in magnitude? Simply G m1 m2 upon r squared. This is my formula for force in magnitude. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ स्टूडेंट्स आपको?
Yes, sir.
All of you all the students who are into the lecture students, it's not 2 or 3 students who are responding, please, the entire class. Okay, the two classes are together, but I don't know how many of you all are able to, because a few of them are learning it from me from the first time. I don't know about it, whether you're able to catch it or not. Please, students, don't waste much time in trying to understand a person, how exactly. Try to connect it. जितना तुम जल्दी कनेक्ट करोगे किसी के साथ में, तुम्हारे लिए एडवांटेज होगा. अगर कहाँ पर कुछ डिस्क्रिपेंसी आता है, do let me know. Just tell me, sir, I didn't follow this or I didn't follow that. I'll speak it out again. तो ये तुम्हारा वेक्टर नोटेशन है स्टूडेंट्स. ये तुम्हारा स्केलर पार्ट में वही. अगर सपोज मैं सेकंड केस में जा रहा हूँ स्टूडेंट्स, नाउ आई एम चेंजिंग द इंक. Now suppose if I say there's a force exerted by 1. Now suppose if I say there's a force exerted on 1/2. Force exerted on 1/2. On 1/2. So effect is taking place on 1. Source is 2. So this will be going in this direction. Position कौन दिखाएगा? Friends, position कौन दिखाएगा? 2 दिखाएगा. 1 कहाँ पे? Because 2 is a source. So position is shown by 2. Where is 1? इसका डायरेक्शन किस तरफ गया? ऑपोजिट गया कि नहीं होगा? This is how it is. So students, your force and position vector are also in the opposite direction. So यहाँ पे भी if I want to write down my answer, force exerted 1/2 students is equal to minus G m1 m2 upon r cube we consider as r21 bar. Is this clear in vector form? Force exerted on 1/2, denominator is r cube. This is position vector shown by 2, where is 1. Students, is this clear to all of you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So once again, you have gravitational force is equal to G m1 m2 upon r square. That we consider as your magnitude part of it. We consider. You have universal gravitational constant. I gave you the dimensions also. I told you to represent force in vector form. We consider the two forces. We consider how are these two forces? They are equal in magnitude, but they are opposite in direction. Do they act along the line joining the center of the two masses? Yes, absolutely correct. We consider. Is that clear? Now, suppose if in case if I happen to consider, listen carefully, I've given you two objects. Please pay attention to this. A body of mass m. Students, listen carefully. A body of mass m and other body of mass small m, students. Okay, are placed at a certain distance d apart from each other. Everybody listen carefully, students. Two masses m and small m are placed at a distance d apart from each other. Okay, students. Now my question to you is, where is a point mass? Where is a point mass to be situated so that the resultant gravitational force is zero? Where should I place the point mass so that the resultant gravitational force onto this particular point mass is equal to zero? Is this question clear to all of you? Two masses, one capital M, small m, are placed at a distance d apart from each other. My question to be, kahan pe main point mass dal do so that the resultant gravitational force acting on that point mass is equal to zero?
At infinity.
At infinity. If in case if I take it at infinity, who said this at infinity? Anirudh, you said it?
Yes, sir.
What is the formula for gravitational force in magnitude? Inversely proportional to what?
So denominator will become infinity, no? So it will tend to
So
zero.
1 upon infinity square. So force will be zero. Agreed? But I wanted with respect to both the masses for two mass system along the line joining them. So where should I place a point mass situated? You have to consider for the line joining the two masses. That means, should I place over here? Should I place over here? Anywhere. Let us take that the point mass is placed somewhere closer to m, far away from small m. Since it's point mass, what exactly its mass I'll consider the unity. यानी ध्यान से सुनना स्टूडेंट्स, ये मास इसको इस तरफ अट्रैक्ट कर रहा है, ये मास इसको इस तरफ अट्रैक्ट कर रहा है. Are you getting it? Now suppose if in case if I take it at what distance, I can take it at different distance anywhere, but the two forces should be what, students? The two forces which are acting on this mass should be equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. तो तुम्हें करना क्या है? What exactly I told you to find out? Students, I told you to find out simply the distance of x from one of the mass. अगर ये x होगा स्टूडेंट्स तो ये क्या होगा? d minus x. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ स्टूडेंट्स?
Yes.
Now if I say that the resultant force acting onto this particular point mass is equal to zero, what do I say? What do I consider? That means you'll say, sir, the force exerted. Answer sunna. Force exerted on point mass due to capital M should be equal to the force exerted on point mass due to small m. Students, effect pehle baad mein source. Hello, effect pehle baad mein source. Force exerted on one due to capital M. Force exerted in what due to small m. What's the formula for force? G capital M, small m the mass is unity upon square of the distance between them is equal to G small m mass is unity upon what is the square root of the distance? D minus x the whole square. Do we have any cancellation? Yes.
G.
So what exactly I'll consider will be, so it will be capital M upon small m is equal to x upon d minus x the whole square. Can I get the value of x? Can I get the value of x? Suppose now if I give you, suppose if I happen to give you the value, ध्यान से सुनना. Suppose अगर मैंने small m को 10 किलोग्राम दिया, ध्यान से सुनना, और capital M को मैंने 1000 किलोग्राम दिया. ध्यान से देखना, 10 kilograms and 1000. Students, can you solve it from here onwards? And the distance between them, I'll consider is equal to 1 meter. चलो, तो तुम ले सकते हो. अरे हाँ सर, capital M आपने बोला 1000 है. ध्यान से सुनना students. Upon small m 10 है, is equal to x upon d minus x the whole square. सर अगर मैं स्क्वायर रूट निकाल दूंगा तो एक रूट ऑफ 100 हो जाएगा. तो क्या होगा? x upon d minus x is equal to 1 by 10. Agreed students? Sorry, 10 by 1. Is it clear students?
Yes, sir.
Cross multiplication, can you get the value? Can you get the value? So what exactly I'm going to get the answer? So this is x is equal to what? 10d minus 10x. Take it on the other side. 11x is equal to 10d. What I need x? 10d by 11. Is this clear? Friends, is this clear to all of you all? That means if I give you 1 meter, what is the distance of this particular building? Yes. Students, are you getting this part? Is this part clear with all of you all students?
Yes, sir.
Again I repeat. मेरा question क्या था? 2 masses are given to you and they are distantly apart from each other. My question to be, where should I place a point mass? Of course, on the line joining between them, with the resultant force acting at that point should be equal to 0. तो तुम्हें ये बताना था force exerted on 1 by capital M and force exerted on 1 by small m. दोनों equal in magnitude होना चाहिए था. Formula क्या है? GMM upon R square. इसका क्या होगा? GMM upon dx minus whole square. अगर suppose तुम्हें values नहीं दिया होता तो मेरा आंसर इसको सॉल्व करके होता. लेकिन अगर मैं वैल्यूज देखता हूँ, स्मॉल m को मैंने 10 दे दिया, कैपिटल m को 1000 दे दिया, सॉल्व करो. Will be 10 by 1, square root निकाल दोगे in that case, so that will be 10 by 1, cross multiplication will be x, 10d minus 10x, what exactly? 11x is equal to 10d, x is equal to 10 by 11. How much is d? I gave you to 1 meter, so what is the distance? What is x? Students, x will be 10 by 11 meter. तो ये कितना होगा? 1 by 11 meter. यानी मुझे ये बताओ, where exactly the body will be? Will the body be closer to capital M or far away from capital M?
Far away from cap.
Further away.
Are you getting it? Simply, you can get your answer on heavier mass we consider. क्या लेकिन question clear हुआ students? Is this part clear to everybody? How do we go with problems regarding this? Any confusion, students? Anything to ask? Is it clear to all of you all? Yes or no? Reply. Kirti, what about you? Okay, fine. Can I erase? Can I erase?
Sir, 1 minute.
Yeah.
Done, sir.
Okay. Okay, students, let me give you some other question. Try to think properly and get me the answer for the students, okay? Listen carefully, students. The question is, three particles, students, three particles ABC. Okay, I'm giving you three particles ABC, each having mass small n, and they are kept along a straight line. AB is equal to BC is equal to LB considered. That means I'm giving you the diagram, students. Particle A, particle B, particle C. They are along a straight line, students, and each is of distance L. Okay, total distance will be 12 students. Okay, each of mass small n, mass small n, mass small n. A fourth particle, students. A fourth particle D is placed on the perpendicular bisector of AC and at a distance of L from B. Fourth particle at a distance L. Okay, D on the perpendicular bisector of AC we consider. Mass is M itself only. A fourth particle D is kept on the perpendicular bisector AC at a distance L from B. My question to the students to you is, the answer is now. Determine gravitational force on D. Determine gravitational force on particle D. Is this question clear to all of them?
Sir, so the distance between B and D is L.
Of course, between AB is L, BC is L, and DB is also L. Students, is the question clear with all of you all?
Sir.
Okay. And gravitational force being a vector quantity, do keep in mind, it's purely attractive. You should know what is the source and what is the effect. Just post your answer, students, and I want in form of vectors. Absolutely correct. But Priti,
Yes, sir.
in terms of IJ, how do you put forward? Your last part is slightly not balanced and proper. Students, listen carefully. All of you are listening carefully. Please be with me. I have explained about gravitational force, students. See, it's a very simple question. सिर्फ तुम्हें vectors के साथ में इसको associate करना है. Students, gravitational force क्या है? Purely attractive है. सबके दिमाग में formula है. Students, gravitational force का formula क्या है? तुम बोलोगे sir, G N1 N2 upon R square. Please, students, just go on to your basics. Don't think it's too complicated question. It's a very easy and straightforward question. थोड़ा सा patience रखो. अभी मैंने पूछा force of gravitation on particle D, तो तुम्हें ये select करना है. अरे D पे effect हो रहा है, लेकिन ये इफेक्ट जो डी पे हो रहा है वो कौन करवा रहा है? सर एक तो ए है सोर्स, यानी पहला सोर्स ए है, दूसरा सोर्स बी है, तीसरा सोर्स सी भी है, तीनों है भाई. तो पहले मैं क्या करूंगा, मैं ए और सी का आंसर निकालूंगा. अभी ध्यान से देखना, अगर ए सोर्स है और बी है तो कैन आई से दिस बिकम्स माय लाइन ऑफ एक्शन ऑफ फोर्स. माय फोर्स विल बी डायरेक्टेड इन दिस डायरेक्शन. Understood? The direction of force will be over here. If I say from D to C, this becomes my direction of force. Now listen carefully, students. Please pay attention. This is the force exerted on D by A. Agreed? What kind of a triangle is this? You'll say, sir, this is 90, so this is 45. This is 45. This is also 45. This is 90. Now, if I want to find out the force exerted on D by A, can I find out its component? ध्यान से सुनना students. Can I find its component resolution of vectors? अरे हाँ सर, हाँ सर. इसको हम रिजॉल्व करेंगे. हाँ सर, एक फोर्स इस तरफ जा रहा है और दूसरा फोर्स इस तरफ है. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ? Resolution of vectors.
Yes.
Please everybody be with me. Reply yes or no. कहाँ पे भी अटकते हो तो please tell me कि sir I'm not able to follow. I'm there to explain you. But don't just sit down. Don't just sit down. Respond and reply. तो देखो फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन टी बाय सर इसके कंपोनेंट. अरे हाँ सर, ये अगर आप लिखोगे तो ये क्या होगा? अभी देखो इसी को मैं इस तरफ लिख रहा हूँ. ये है मेरा फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन डी बाय ए. तो ये होगा फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन डी बाय ए और ये तुम्हारा 45 है. तो कहना है cos 45. ये क्या होगा? फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन डी बाय ए. ये होगा sin 45. वैसे ही इस तरह की फोर्स एक्सर्टेड बाय सी ऑन डी. हाँ सर, वो भी तो फोर्स है. आपने पूछा ना डिटरमाइन फोर्स, यानी तीनों फोर्स एक्सर्ट कर रहे हैं, तो हम पहले ए और सी के हिसाब से निकालते हैं. तो देखो इसको मैं रेड इंक में ले लेता हूँ. ये क्या है? फोर्स एक्सर्टेड ऑन डी बाय सी. उसी को मैं रिजॉल्व करता हूँ स्टूडेंट्स. टू फोर्सेस इक्वल इन मैग्नीट्यूड, वी कंसीडर टू म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर वेक्टर स्टूडेंट्स. So now see, one force is in this direction. This is what is force exerted on D by C. This is force exerted on D by C, cos of 45. Agreed? ये होगा force exerted on D by C, sin of 45. This angle is also 45. Students, क्या ये clear हुआ सबको?
Yes.
यानी देखो ये तुम्हारा D है, यहाँ पे एक मास D है, यहाँ पे एक मास था, यहाँ पे एक भी एक मास है. पहले हम इन दोनों के बारे में बात करते हैं, A और B के बारे में, A और C के बारे में बात करते हैं. मुझे स्टूडेंट्स ये बताओ, can you tell me what is the magnitude? Please everybody, can you tell me what is the magnitude of force exerted on D by A and force exerted on D by C? चलो, can you tell me the formula for this? तो क्या करोगे?
Equal, right?
Of course, equal. That's what I want to know it from you all. G दोनों में कांस्टेंट आ रहा है. हाँ सर, G दोनों में कांस्टेंट आ रहा है.
G m square upon
क्या है सर? दोनों का मास भी सेम है ना? डिस्टेंस क्या है? अरे सर ये 45, ये 45. हाँ, तो what exactly this will be? So this will be L and L. So can I say this is root 2L? है ना?
Yes, sir.
तो ये क्या होगा? Upon root 2L the whole square. ये भी क्या होगा? root 2L the whole square. क्या ये सही हुआ स्टूडेंट्स? हाँ स्टूडेंट्स.
Yes, sir.
दूसरी बात देखो, यानी दोनों का मैग्नीट्यूड सेम है. हेलो, दोनों का मैग्नीट्यूड सेम है. अभी देखो ये इक्वेशन देखो, पीछे क्या लिखा है? sin 45. यहाँ पे भी sin 45 लिखा है. व्हाट इज sin 45? व्हाट इज sin 45? अगर मैं यहाँ पे पीछे लिखता हूँ sin 45, तो कहने से sin 45 अगर मैं लिखता हूँ तो कहने से 1/√2 यहाँ पे आएगा.
They cancel each other.
देखना, ये भी वन. वेरी गुड, दैट्स एब्सोल्युटली करेक्ट. यानी सी, डू यू सी द टू फोर्सेस आर इक्वल इन मैग्नीट्यूड ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन. तो ये दोनों कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. यानी तुम्हारे एक्सप्रेशन में उसको लेने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. लेकिन स्टूडेंट्स ये भी ध्यान में रखना चाहिए कि ये हॉरिजॉन्टल कंपोनेंट्स कैंसिल होते हैं, फोर्स होते हैं, लेकिन कैंसिल हो जाएंगे. अगर बाय चांस मैंने क्वेश्चन दिया होता जहां पे मैंने एक डिग्री 60 दिया होता, दूसरा 30 दिया होता, स्टूडेंट्स एक 60 दिया होता, 30 दिया होता, तो तुम्हारा उसका भी फोर्स काउंट होता. क्या ये सही हुआ? इज इट क्लियर टू ऑल ऑफ यू ऑल?
Yes, sir.
तो ना तुम्हारा देखो रिजल्टेंट 0 हो गया. अरे हाँ यार, ये तो 0 हो गया. लेकिन हमें लेना क्या है सर? इसको आपने कैंसिल आउट कर दिया, ये दोनों तो एक ही डायरेक्शन में है. अरे सर, इन दोनों को तो मुझे ऐड करना पड़ेगा. ये दोनों फोर्सेस इनके ऐड हो जाएंगे. अरे सर, यानी sin 45 की जगह पे cos 45 आने वाला है. cos 45 की वैल्यू भी, अरे हाँ, दोनों सेम है. ये भी नीचे की तरफ जा रहा है, तो सर ये भी जे क्या होगा? नेगेटिव साइन में, नेगेटिव एक्सिस पे जा रहा है. देखो ना, इफ आप लोगों फॉर द एक्सिस, ये देखो तुम्हारा हॉरिजॉन्टल है, कंसीडर दिस इज y एक्सिस. ये भी किस तरफ जा रहा है सर? वो भी नेगेटिव एक्सिस. Can I write down these two together? अरे हाँ सर, इसका आंसर क्या होगा? प्लीज पे अटेंशन, इसका आंसर क्या होगा? G m square upon L square. Can I say root 2 the whole square? Root 2 the whole square we consider. Agreed. So can I put this as addition of them? So can I say this will be 2? Agreed. I can put in this manner. Gm square we consider as 2 root 2. Agreed. Friends, is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And add with this. So even this also will be G m square upon 2 root 2 L square. Are these two added? Clear, students? Students getting it? Addition of the two. I've added both of them. I've removed minus and outside, J outside. What is the answer for this? So double हो जाएगा, फिर cancel होगा. What exactly my answer will be? Minus G m square upon root 2 L square J है. क्या ये आंसर क्लियर हुआ?
Sir, and force of gravity on d by b will also be added to that.
आ रहा हूँ. Hold. पहले इसका समझो. यानी अभी तक मैंने किसका फोर्स फाइंड आउट किया स्टूडेंट्स? D का A से और D का C के हिसाब से फाइंड आउट किया. B वाले को पूछा ही नहीं भाई. B वाला बोलेगा भाई मेरा फोर्स भी तो लग रहा है, मेरे को तो काउंट ही नहीं किया, तो अभी बी का काउंट करते हैं. मेरा क्वेश्चन ये पहले ये क्लियर हुआ सब लोगों को स्टूडेंट्स. इसका मैंने फाइनल आंसर ये बताया. एग्री स्टूडेंट्स? वेरी क्लियर हुआ. अभी इन दोनों के बीच में ले लो. अभी ध्यान से देखो, ये पॉइंट डी है, ये पॉइंट डी है. फोर्स इज डायरेक्टेड दिस वे. ये भी एम है, ये भी एम है. डिस्टेंस एल है. व्हाट इज द ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स? जी
minus G m square upon L.
Square by L
upon
square.
L square. Negative J because negative axis. What is the resultant force? Then what is the answer? Resultant force, students, resultant force in vector form where? On D will be equal to what? Will be equal to what? Component of the force of A and C along negative y-axis and the force exerted by B downwards. So can I see दोनों को addition करना होगा? तो देखो minus G m square upon root 2 L square J cap plus into bracket minus Gm square upon L square J cap. Can I remove Gm square upon L square outside with negative sign? Bracket में क्या आएगा? 1 upon root 2 plus 1 J cap. Is this clear with all of you? क्या ये क्लियर हुआ स्टूडेंट्स? ये फोर्स और ये फोर्स इन दोनों को ऐड कर दिया. स्टूडेंट्स क्या समझ में आ रहा है? It seems that you are listening to me as if you're doing vectors for the first time. Students, mind you, I'm making it very clear. From gravitation, students, from gravitation, I've picked up only this. बस बाकी जो कुछ भी मैंने लिखा है पूरा वेक्टर्स में, वेक्टर्स के हिसाब से लिखा है स्टूडेंट्स, पूरा वेक्टर्स के हिसाब से. You don't have any chance to say कि I'm not able to follow it, students. You can't. सिंपल है यार. अगर ये फोर्स यहाँ पे लग रहा है तो इसके दो कंपोनेंट्स होंगे, इसके भी दो कंपोनेंट्स होंगे. ये दोनों के मैग्नीट्यूड तुरंत स्टूडेंट्स ने बोला सर इसके मैग्नीट्यूड सेम होगा लेकिन ऑपोजिट डायरेक्शन होती है तो रूल आउट हो जाएगा, है ना. तो इसका कंपोनेंट नीचे की तरफ जा रहा है, वो नेगेटिव वाई एक्सिस पे होगा. तो इन दोनों को मैंने ऐड कर दिया, इन दोनों का मैंने आंसर यहाँ पे निकाल दिया. देखो ये कंपोनेंट वाला cos 45 वाला ये एक आंसर और ये एक आंसर. 1/√2 भी आ गया. देखो ये वाले दोनों आंसर. फिर दोनों को ऐड कर दिया, ये दोनों का एडिशन यहाँ पे आ गया. फिर डी का भी तो फोर्स लगा है वो यहाँ पे आ गया. अभी इन दोनों का रिजल्टेंट ऐड करना है. Because students, when I told you gravitational force is broadly attractive, yes, we can go for principle of superposition of force. Now, what is principle of superposition of forces which you have learned in vectors? The resultant force acting on D will be force exerted by A on D, plus force exerted on D by D, force exerted on D by C. सबका addition होगा और सबका addition का ये आंसर है. Students, hope you all are able to understand, students. Kirti, now you got it, Kirti?
Yes, sir.
You got your mistake now?
Yeah, sir.
Okay, fine. Can I erase this, students?
1 minute.
Yeah. Students, why am I giving you this problem? You know that, students, when you are actually sitting with gravitation chapter from the books also, you might come across problems much more easier than this. मैंने थोड़ा सा सोचने के ऊपर थोड़ा सा trickiness बढ़ा दिया. अगर तुम्हें ये क्रैक हो जाता है या ये समझ में आ जाता है ना स्टूडेंट्स, हेलो, तो वो सारे प्रॉब्लम तुम्हें आराम से आ जाएंगे. तो इसके लिए तुम आंसर दिया करो. ट्राई टू रिप्लाई एंड गिव एन आंसर अकॉर्डिंगली. ये अगर क्लिक हो गया तो टेक्स्ट बुक के प्रॉब्लम्स लाइक दिस विल बी एबल टू क्रैक इट. You will not have any problems. You have to save time. Students, I'm trying to save your time. So I'm trying to do a particular concept जहाँ पे देखो resolution भी आ गया, तीन forces भी आ गए, IJK भी डाल दिया, सब कुछ आ गया इसमें. या तो मैं simple problem दे देता तो दो masses देता students. If in case the rest of the students who are sitting dumb, sorry, very sorry to say that, but who's keeping mum, they expect that I should do such kind of question. एक का मास दिया है 10 किलोग्राम, बच्चे लोग दूसरे का मास दिया है 2 किलोग्राम, डिस्टेंस इज 5 मीटर, फाइंड आउट ग्रेविटेशनल फोर्स. ये बोलूं मैं तुम्हें, जहाँ पे जी की वैल्यू मालूम है, m1 m2 अपन आंसर सच काइंड ऑफ क्वेश्चंस यू वांट मी टू गिव. दोस आर इजी माय डियर, यू विल बी एबल टू क्रैक इट. तो कुछ ऐसा सीखो कि जहां से तुम्हें समझ में आएगा और फिर तुम जब क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करो, विल बी एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड हाउ टू गो अबाउट दिस चैप्टर. By doing in this particular manner, what exactly you're trying to convey to me, you know, students? Sir, you don't do any problems. You simply do the theory part of it. Okay, can I erase this, students?
Sir, I have one doubt.
Bolo?
No, wait, please.
Yes, waiting.
Sir, on the right side where you wrote minus bracket gm square upon 2 root 2 L square. So how did you get that 2 root 2 L square?
ये रूट 2 L दो होल स्क्वायर करना, इसका मैंने दिया. ये दोनों का एडिशन है ना, इन दोनों का एडिशन का ये आंसर है. तो इसको रूट 2 स्क्वायर क्या होगा? व्हाट इज रूट 2 स्क्वायर? व्हाट इज रूट 2? 2. और ये रूट 2 है ना, तो 2 रूट 2 आया ना.
Okay, got it.
और इसका भी ये आया. फिर इन दोनों को ऐड कर दिया. If I say both of them having same denominator, so this will be double. वो 2 इससे कैंसिल हो गया, तो नीचे से रूट 2 आएगा. इन दोनों को ऐड करूंगा तो ऊपर 2 आएगा ना दोनों का. That 2 is getting cancelled with this 2. ये उनका रिजल्ट. और फिर डी और बी के बीच में फोर्स लिया, उनके बीच में एल इज द डिस्टेंस, लेकिन वो भी नेगेटिव z एक्सिस. और ये ध्यान में रखना स्टूडेंट्स, मैंने डायग्राम दिया था. हेलो स्टूडेंट्स, मैंने डायग्राम दिया था, इसलिए तुम्हारा आंसर नीचे की तरफ आ रहा है. हेलो, अगर सपोज मैं एग्जामिनेशन में चेंज कर दूं, चलो मैं ये पॉइंट डी नीचे ले लूं, तो तुम्हारा फोर्स ऊपर की तरफ जाएगा, प्लस जे कैप में आएगा आंसर. समझ में आ रहा है स्टूडेंट्स?
Yes, sir.
ओके. यही अगर मैं एमसीक्यू में दे दूं without diagram, then can I say you'll have more than one option, plus or minus j?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please try to understand the questions, how exactly questions are put across to students. Okay, can I erase now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, students. Now, after speaking about your gravitational force, students will go for gravitational acceleration. Okay, I'll go for your maximum derivation part of it. Students. We'll go for concept of acceleration due to gravity, a vector quantity. Students. Students, most of you must have done motion in straight lines, kinematics 1. You know, can anybody define acceleration due to gravity? Students who have done kinematics can answer for this. Yes, students, define acceleration due to gravity. So what will be your answer? Students, simple. A body when made to fall freely under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. A body when made to fall freely under the influence of gravitational force of the earth. It comes down with uniform acceleration in absence of air resistance. This acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity minus g, which is 9.8 meter per second square in MKS, and in CGS it's 980 centimeter second square. Students, a body when made to fall freely under the influence of gravitational force of the earth, the body comes down with uniform acceleration. Students, in absence of air resistance, this acceleration is called acceleration due to gravity, a vector quantity directed vertically downwards. I can put in terms of vector, negative sign shows directed vertically downwards with acceleration. So the acceleration is along y-axis. I can put as minus g, j cap. Agreed, students? Now, when I speak about with respect to your gravitational force, so-called as your gravitational units, there are two kinds of units we consider. When somebody asks you gravitational unit, students do keep in mind, gravitational unit is one of them we consider in MKS system we considered as kilogram force. And in CGS, students we consider as gram force. See, when somebody asks me, students, what is your weight? Then students, weight is always, do keep in mind, students, weight is always expressed in kilogram force or gram force. Mass is expressed in kilogram and gram. ये ध्यान में रखना. Students, अगर किसी ने तुम्हारा weight पूछा है, तो ये मत बोलना my weight is 50 किलोग्राम. नहीं, weight पूछा है, तो mass का unit नहीं देना है तुम्हें. You have to say my weight is 50 kilogram force. 1 kilogram force corresponds to how much? 1 kilogram force. Can you tell me, students, 1 kilogram force corresponds to how many Newton?
9.8 newtons.
Absolutely correct. 9.8 Newton. 1 gram force corresponds to how much?
980.
989.
989. Absolutely correct. यानी जब भी तुम weight के बारे में बात करोगे students, that's mass into gravitational acceleration. तो हमेशा किलोग्राम फोर्स और ग्राम फोर्स में रखना students. 9.8 Newton, 989. ये ध्यान में रखना. ये कौन सी units है? Gravitational units. See, when somebody asks what is the SI unit of force? SI unit of force we consider as what? SI unit of force we consider simply as what? Newton. But when I think about gravitational units, you have kilogram force and gram force. Do take care of that. Now we go for acceleration of gravity. Let us understand how does this acceleration of gravity vary. So let me put forward the variation. Students, answers are not variation. To make it more easier, I'll try to put forward in a diagram form of it. Students, answers are not. What do you consider Earth, students? Earth is considered to be spheroidal. Students, Earth is considered to be spheroidal, we consider. So, iska matlab, it's bulged at the equator and flattened at the poles. If in case if I happen to speak about this is a rotational axis I consider. So this is the axis of rotation. I'll take this as north, south, west, east. And this is the center of the Earth. Now, students, let me ask you, students, when the Earth starts rotating, students, what is the rotation? What is the rotation of the Earth? How does the Earth rotate? Does it rotate from east to west or west to east?
West to east.
It rotates from west to east. That is how you see the motion is anti-clockwise, students. The motion is anti-clockwise, west to east. And students, Earth का rotation के हिसाब से, everybody listen carefully. Earth का rotation के हिसाब से, students, तुम्हारा right hand screw rule applicable होता है vector products में. कुछ याद आ रहा है vector products में? Vector products में जब भी तुम चाहते हो I, J, के, तो आई क्रॉस जे को प्लस के लेते हो, जे क्रॉस के को प्लस आई लेते हो, के क्रॉस आई को प्लस जे लेते हो, यानी ये कौन से डायरेक्शन में जाएगा? एंटी क्लॉकवाइज. व्हाई एंटी क्लॉकवाइज? यू आर टेकिंग इट एज पॉजिटिव. दिस इज द कन्वेंशन पार्ट. यानी इसको हम कन्वेंशंस पकड़ रहे हैं. ये कन्वेंशंस, इधर साइन कन्वेंशन. स्टूडेंट्स, अगर मैंने पूछा व्हाट इज जे क्रॉस आई, व्हाट इज जे क्रॉस आई स्टूडेंट्स, व्हाट इज द आंसर? Come on, tell me.
minus
Minus
k cap.
means are you going in clockwise or anti-clockwise? You're going in clockwise. तो यहाँ पे स्टूडेंट्स को रेज करता है ये साइन कन्वेंशंस क्यों? तो ये बिलीफ है, ये एक अजम्पशन है. लेकिन स्टूडेंट्स, ये अजम्पशन है, बिलीफ कहाँ से उठा के रखा हुआ है? अर्थ को देखते हुए. अगर सपोज तुम्हारे घर पे ग्लोब रखा हुआ है और उस ग्लोब को तुमने हाथ लगा दिया और देखो, my hand is in this manner and I'm trying to rotate the globe. If I'm rotating the globe from west to east, see my thumb is pointing upwards. That means along positive z axis. If I try to go from east to west, where is the thumb pointing? Downwards. So anti-clockwise, positive, clockwise, negative. That's the sign convention just been picked up from here. So now if I consider Earth, so this is the Earth we consider. The Earth is rotating about its own axis, and students, the Earth is rotating with a constant angular speed. Students, Earth is rotating with a constant angular speed. एक चीज मुझे बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, ऑल ऑफ यू हुई है, मुझे बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट फिजिक्स में कहाँ पे यूज होता है? फास्ट. स्टूडेंट्स, क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट कहाँ पे यूज होता है फिजिक्स में? Where exactly are you going to use cross product, students?
Multiply a vector with a vector.
Multiply
A vector with a vector.
Okay. See one thing, students. ये गांठ बांध लेना.
Angular velocity.
हाँ, what you said?
So in angular velocity, you'll be using that. Like linear velocity is radius into angular velocity.
So students, cross product is always used for motion of a particle we consider in form of circular path or along rotational motion. Students, your cross product is always used only for those topics related to physics where you're speaking about circular motion or rotational motion. पूरे फिजिक्स में जो 2.5 साल का फिजिक्स तुम पढ़ोगे, 2.5 years, क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट विल बी एप्लीकेबल ओवर देयर. जहां पे बॉडी सेट हो, फॉर एग्जांपल अ लूप, एक एयरक्राफ्ट जा रहा है और लूप कर रहा है, ये भी तो एक आर्क मोशन हुआ. जहां पे भी आर्क मोशन आया, जहां पे भी सर्कुलर मोशन आया, जहां पे भी रोटेशन मोशन आया, सीधा क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट आएगा. तो ये ध्यान रखना स्टूडेंट्स, क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट इज ऑलवेज यूज्ड फॉर एंगुलर मोशन भी कंसीडर. कभी जाके आस्क यू, Earth is rotating about its own axis, students. So it rotates with a constant angular speed. What is the angular speed? Angular speed of Earth is what? The angular speed of Earth is constant. Students, angular speed have denoted a variable omega. This is omega. This is angular speed. जिसको बोलूंगा omega. Students, omega is given by what formula? Omega is given by the formula 2 pi upon capital T. That's what we consider. 2 pi upon capital T we consider. This is angular velocity. Now a student who's listening to me, sir, ये कहाँ से लेके आते हो? तो rotational motion है, ये angular speed होगा. अभी ध्यान से सुनना. Everybody please look at my pen and listen to me very carefully. Yeah? अगर मैंने पूछा students, a body is having translational motion. Everybody be with me. A body is having translational motion. Students, can you give me the formula for linear speed? क्या बोलोगे? What is linear speed?
Plus at.
Distance travel.
Distance travel per unit time, है ना? वही अगर मैंने angular speed बोला तो तुम क्या बोलोगे? What is angular speed? तो बोलोगे angular distance, angular displacement per unit time. Angular displacement per unit time. Now suppose if a particle starts from A and if it comes back at point A, what is the angular displacement the particle has gone? 2 pi radians. 2 pi radians, angular, 360 degrees, 2 pi radians. What is the time taken for its motion? Periodic. And students, Earth जब भी rotate होता है पूरा, Earth जब भी एक complete rotation करता है students, what is the time taken for one complete rotation, students? What is the time taken for one complete rotation? 24 hours. That is 86,400 seconds, students. यानी कोई स्टूडेंट थोड़ा सा भी वाइज होगा, थोड़ा सा भी स्मार्ट होगा, वो बोलेगा अच्छा सर ने हमें बोला कि हम ग्रेविटेशनल एक्सेलरेशन के बारे में पढ़ रहे हैं, तो वेरिएशन के बारे में पढ़ना है, वेरिएशन के हिसाब से पढ़ना है, तो ये शायद वेरिएबल सर यूज करेंगे आगे जाके, इसलिए इतना स्ट्रेस कर रहे हैं ओमेगा के ऊपर। लेकिन जब भी ओमेगा बोला तो उन्होंने उसको एंगुलर स्पीड बोला। एंगुलर स्पीड को समझाने के लिए सर ने लीनियर स्पीड पे चला गया, एंड दिस इज बाय एनालॉग। अगर ये लीनियर स्पीड है तो ये एंगुलर स्पीड है, ये लीनियर डिस्प्लेसमेंट है तो ये एंगुलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट है, ये टाइम है तो ये भी टाइम है। फिर उन्होंने थीटा अपॉन टी को एक फॉर्मूला में डाल दिया। कैसे डाल दिया? अगर तुम ए से शुरू करते हो वापस ए पे आते हो तो तुम्हारा डिस्प्लेसमेंट जीरो हो गया। स्टूडेंट्स, व्हाट इज द एंगल ट्रेस्ड बाय यू? व्हाट इज द एंगल ट्रेस्ड बाय यू? रेफरेंस एंगल 360 degrees. Upon what? Time taken. What is the time taken for one complete rotation of the Earth? 24 hours. Now can you give me the formula for omega? Instantly, a student who is fast in calculations will say 6.28 upon 86,400. Answer will be radian upon second because theta is measured in radians. So the answer is 7.26 into 10 raised to minus 5 radian second inverse. And this is a constant value, students. ये एक कांस्टेंट वैल्यू है और ये बहुत दफे प्रॉब्लम्स में यूज होता है। So now if somebody asks you students what's the angular velocity of the earth, क्या बोला मैंने? angular velocity of the earth या angular speed of the earth, तो तुम्हारा आंसर क्या होना चाहिए? 7.26 into 10 raised to minus 5 radian per second. अगर किसी ने पूछा what is the formula to find out, then simple, your answer will be omega will be 2 pi upon capital T. What does capital T over here stands for? Time taken for one complete rotation of the Earth. What is the time taken for one complete rotation of the Earth? 24 hours. Corresponds to how many seconds? 86,400 seconds. Now, a student who's cross-checking the values with calculator and all, you might come across some values, but the rounding up value will be 7.26. लेकिन कोई स्टूडेंट और थोड़ा सोचेगा तो बोले अरे यार उसका मतलब Earth का angular velocity 10 raised to minus 5 seconds. And look at my hand, students. कितना धीरे से घूम रहा है, कितना धीरे से घूम रहा है. That is why, students, it's unnoticeable to us. We, the Earthlings, onto the Earth's surface, our angular velocity and the Earth is exactly the same. So what is the relative change in velocity? Zero. Relative change in velocity, zero. A simple example, suppose अगर Earth ने अपना एक सैटेलाइट भेज दिया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल अपने जो फिजिसिस्ट है इसरो के, ओके, उसने एक सैटेलाइट लॉन्च कर दिया, इंडिया का एक सैटेलाइट और एक लॉन्च कर दिया. तो मुझे बताओ स्टूडेंट्स, वो सैटेलाइट इंडिया के सामने रहेगा या कोई और कंट्री के सामने रहेगा? सर इंडिया के इंफॉर्मेशन के लिए चाहिए ना, तो हम इंडिया के सामने रखेंगे. तो देखो ध्यान से देखना स्टूडेंट्स, ये जो स्टिकर है वो सैटेलाइट समझो, एग्रीड, और ये तुम्हारा जो होल्डर है वो इंडिया. जैसे जैसे होल्डर घूमेगा, जैसे जैसे अर्थ रोटेट होगा, इंडिया का पोजीशन चेंज होगा, सीधा सैटेलाइट का पोजीशन भी चेंज होगा. Every time the satellite will face towards India, the students, what is the angular velocity of satellite with respect to angular velocity of the Earth? Change in angular velocity क्या होगा?
Zero.
यानी अगर कोई एस्ट्रोनॉट इस सैटेलाइट में बैठा होगा, वो बोलेगा भाई इंडिया रेस्ट पे है. अगर कोई इंडिया से सैटेलाइट को देख सकेगा तो बोलेगा भाई सैटेलाइट रेस्ट पे है. Why? Because the angular velocity of the Earth and the angular velocity of all those revolving considered a given orbit, if it's same, then the relative angular velocity will be equal to zero. So, have you understood how to go about the angular speed of the Earth? 7.26 into 10 to the power of minus 5 radian per second. This is linear speed. This is angular. Yeah, ये clear हुआ students?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, what is the variation? Friends, what is the variation? Variation of gravitational acceleration in different positions. Answer now. If I say at poles, students, what is G at poles? G at poles is nearly equal to, students, 9.83 meter per second square. G at equator, 9.78 meter per second square. G at equator. Why? Because it's bulge at the equator, flat at the pole. Students, it is said that equatorial radius is greater than the polar radius. by 21 kilometers. Some books must have written 23 also. Cross-check your textbook also, students. I repeat, since Earth is bulged at the equator, flattened at the poles, the equatorial radius is greater than the polar radius by 21 kilometers. But then too also हम जब एक कैपिटा रखते हैं ना radius of the Earth, तो students वो तुम्हारा average है, which is 6,400 kilometers, which is 6.4 into 10⁶ meter. जहां पे distance greater होगा g तुम्हारा कम होगा, तो g at equator is less, g at poles is more. See the variation, and I'll explain you why there is a variation. If I happen to go for g at a certain depth, at depth, students, the value of g certainly decreases. If I happen to go at a certain altitude above the Earth's surface,
0.
No. It will certainly decrease, my dear. At a certain height above the Earth's surface, it will decrease. This is the radius of the Earth, and this is height above the Earth's surface. It will decrease. Outer space, the value of g will be equal to 0. Weightlessness. Astronauts in spaceship. Agreed? That is outer space. At a certain, just as the first upper height will area, so g will go on decreasing, weight will decrease. Finally, in outer space, the value of g will become 0. G at a certain latitude can be found out. Latitude we consider as what? Is the angle formed by the radius with the equator. This is at a certain latitude. Anywhere onto the Earth's surface, the value of g will change. If I take at the center, g at the center, students, g at the center is practically 0. अरे देखो स्टूडेंट्स कैसे जी चेंज हो रहा है, यानी ध्यान से सुना स्टूडेंट्स, ध्यान से सुनना. Consider yourself of mass n. Please, everybody listen carefully. Consider yourself of mass n kilogram. Students, if I take you to the center of the Earth, if I take you at a depth, if I take you at poles, if I take you at equator, if I take you at a certain altitude, or if I take you anywhere on the Earth's surface, or if I take you in outer space, will your mass change?
No.
Mass does not change. Mass का मतलब amount of matter. The stomach, lungs, kidneys, सबका साइज सेम ही रहेगा, mass constant रहेगा. लेकिन क्या weight change होगा?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely correct. Now see, if I happen to go for the variation, what exactly the weight at poles? The weight of poles will be more. Weight at equator will be less. अरे यार, अगर मैं goldsmith होता, अगर मैं gold merchant होता, gold का धंधा करता, तो मैं खरीदी करता equator पे, बेचता poles पे, है ना? The value of g is changing. If I go inside the Earth first, my weight will decrease. At the center, weightlessness, 0 gravity. Outer space, weightlessness. At a certain height, my weight will decrease. My weight will change from place to place on this Earth's surface. And this is all because the Earth is spheroidal, not perfect sphere. It's a geoid shape. It's bulged at the equator, flattened at the poles. Equatorial radius is always greater than the polar radius. Is this much clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
So your acceleration to gravity, students, is a body made to fall vertically downwards under the influence of gravitational force of the Earth. Students, it comes out with uniform acceleration. That is called acceleration due to gravity. Its value in mk's and ch's has been given to you. Gravitational units are always 2 kilogram force. Gram force to take care of that. Agree? The angular velocity with the Earth rotating over its own axis, students, this is a constant value. Do remember this, which will be used further ahead. What is the time taken for one complete rotation of the Earth? Rotation, not revolution. Rotation of the Earth about its own axis. 86,400 seconds, students. The equatorial radius is greater than the polar radius by 21 kilometers, we consider. Does the value of g changes from place to place? Yes, but mass remains constant. Where exactly the value of g will be 0 at the center of the Earth and in outer space, we consider. Okay, friends. Now we derive the formula for gravitational acceleration. So let us go for the derivation. If somebody asks you to derive the formula for gravitational acceleration, how do you go about? Consider this is the Earth. Mass capital M, students, okay? And there is this small m on the Earth's surface. Distance is capital. Okay, now students, listen carefully. This is the Earth, and this is the mass of the object onto the Earth's surface. Now suppose if I ask you, students, what is the gravitational force exerted between Earth mass body? Then what will be the answer? So G capital M small m upon square of the distance between the line joining the center of the mass is R square. This is my equation number 1. If I ask you, students, what is the gravitational force exerted by Earth onto the body, then what will be? Equal to the weight of the body. This is my equation number 2. And students, I told you now, gravitational force exerted by Earth on the body is simply equal to the weight of the body. What is the weight of the body? Mass into gravitational acceleration. Can I say left hand sides are equal? ये भी gravitational force exerted by the Earth है, ये भी gravitational force exerted by the Earth है. अगर LHS equal है तो क्या RHS equal होंगे? हाँ sir. G capital M small m upon R square. Does small m gets cancelled? Yes. What is my answer? G capital M upon R square. Is this clear, students? This answer is in meters against square meters. What is the value of G? The value of G is gravitational constant 6.67 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton meter square kilogram square inverse. What is the value of mass of the Earth? Mass of the Earth is 6 into 10 to the power of 24 kilograms. Students. What's the radius of the Earth? It's 6.4 into 10 to the power of 6 meter. And students, when you solve these values, you will get your answer nearly equal to 9.81. ये जो तुम लोग 9.8 पढ़ते हो ना students, you must have done kinematics students, जहाँ पे G को तुम लोग ने 9.8 लिया है, वो कहाँ से आता है? Question पूछा, कहाँ से आता है? ये वाला. You'll get approximately G is equal to 9.8 students. Is this clear to all of you? Now, students?
Yes.
So the formula
Yes,
for
sir.
acceleration, students, is small g is equal to capital G capital M upon R square. That's the formula for gravitational acceleration, students. And this formula will be utilized for your body on the Earth's surface we consider. Okay. Now, what exactly? See, when you carefully look at this question, look at the formula. जब एक फॉर्मूला पे ध्यान दोगे ना तो तुम देखो किस तरह यहाँ पे स्मॉल एम कैंसिल हो रहा है. अरे यार, हाँ हाँ हाँ, जब भी हम लोग ने लीनियर मोशन के प्रॉब्लम्स किए थे अलोंग वर्टिकल, लीनियर वर्टिकल मोशन के प्रॉब्लम्स किए थे, तो वहां पे an object is dropped from a tower, a ball dropped from a tower, a stone dropped from a tower, a feather dropped from a tower. सबका मास अलग था, सबका मास अलग था, लेकिन सारे प्रॉब्लम्स में हमने जी को 9.8 ही लिया था. स्टूडेंट्स, कभी सोचा था? A ball dropped from a tower, a stone dropped from a tower, a feather dropped from a tower. तीनों अलग अलग मास है, लेकिन जब तुम प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करे तो क्या सारे केस में तुमने जी को कांस्टेंट रखा? हाँ या ना?
Yes, sir.
So that was in absence of air resistance.
हाँ, that is and we are neglecting the mass. हेलो, ये देखो ना, m कैंसिल हो गया यहाँ पे, m कैंसिल हो गया. अगर तुम एयर रेजिस्टेंस को रखते तो वहां पे तुम्हारा अपथ्रस्ट का कंसेप्ट आ जाता, फ्लोटेशन का कंसेप्ट आ जाता. एयर इज अ फ्लूइड एंड फ्लूइड विल ऑफ फ्रिक्शन. इसलिए हम लोग ने डेफिनेशन में एयर रेजिस्टेंस को इंपॉर्टेंस दी, वो तुम्हें कन्विंस करने के लिए. लेकिन अगर तुम मैथमेटिकली जाते हो तो उसको तुम कैसे करोगे कि इट्स इंडिपेंडेंट ऑफ मास. सी, अगर किसी ने पूछा डज ग्रेविटेशनल एक्सेलरेशन, listen carefully students, does gravitational acceleration depends on the mass of the falling body? Your answer will be no. M small m is getting cancelled in the equation. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ students? Students, is it clear to all of you all?
Yes, sir.
Now when I speak about for gravitational acceleration at a certain height, the next derivation. Now consider, suppose this is the Earth, students, of mass capital. Now the body is at a certain height above the Earth's surface. This is capital R. This distance I'll take it as small r. Then how do you go for gravitational force? Then your answer, students, for this will be what? Same way, exactly same way. What is the first equation for this? So यहाँ पे मेरा first equation क्या होगा? So gravitational force first equation will be equal to what? G capital N, small n upon square of the distance. This is the equation number 1. What is the gravitational force exerted by the Earth on a mass at a certain height? Mass into gravitational acceleration at a certain height. This is my equation number 2. Left hand sides are equal. Can I equate the right hand sides? Therefore, equating RHS. What am I going to get it? Small n GH is equal to G capital N small n upon small r square. Small n gets cancelled independent of mass. Therefore, students, what is the acceleration to gravity at a certain height? Gm upon r square. Is this clear? And this answer will be in meter per second square. What is small r over here? Students, what is small r? Small r is equal to r plus h. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ स्टूडेंट्स सबको?
Yes, sir.
Okay. यानी अगर तुम्हें डेरिवेशन पूछे स्टूडेंट्स तो व्हाट इज द फॉर्मूला फॉर ग्रेविटेशनल एक्सेलरेशन एट अ सर्टेन ऑल्टीट्यूड, तो ये वाला है. अभी ध्यान से देखना, मैंने बोला डिक्रीजेस. स्टूडेंट्स डिक्रीजेस क्यों? देखो ना, यहाँ पे क्या कैपिटल आर स्क्वायर था, ये क्या आर प्लस एच. यानी स्टूडेंट्स अगर ये वैल्यू बढ़ती है तो ये कम होगी कि नहीं होगी? इनवर्स वेरिएशन. If I say if r square increases, what about gh? Will certainly decrease. That's why I said it at an altitude the weight will decrease. Students, at an altitude the weight will decrease. We can say. Now suppose if I ask you, if somebody asks me, can you give a relation between these two? So what do you do? Divide this upon this. Gh upon g is equal to what? Gm upon small r square divided by this. So into capital R square by Gm. Gm will get cancelled. So what's the acceleration of gravity at a certain height? G into bracket R upon R plus H the whole square. क्या ये clear हुआ? So what is small r? R plus H. Is this raised to the power of 2? Yes. Is this raised to the power of 2? Yes. यानी ये क्या दिखाता है? ये दिखाता है variation in gravitational acceleration at a certain altitude with respect to Earth's surface. यानी कभी भी प्रॉब्लम को रीड करो तो ध्यान से रीड करना. क्या उन्होंने सिर्फ ऑल्टीट्यूड के बारे में पूछा है या कंपेयर किया है ऑल्टीट्यूड विद रिस्पेक्ट टू सरफेस? इज दैट क्लियर?
Yes, sir.
That is gh g in bracket r upon r plus h the whole square. Can I erase this part? So is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can I erase this?
Yes, sir.
Now we go for acceleration to gravity at a certain depth. Now please pay attention. This is one derivation. Do keep in mind. This is the center of the Earth. This is capital R. Suppose if a body is on the Earth's surface, okay, so what's the gravitational acceleration? So G capital M upon R square. Agreed? Now listen carefully, students. This is mass of Earth. Density of Earth I can write as mass upon volume of Earth. What is mass of Earth? Density to volume. क्या ये clear हुआ, students? Is this clear? Students, density is mass upon volume, so mass of Earth is density to volume, and the Earth is a sphere. Now, suppose if I write down gravitational acceleration, students, in terms of density, if they ask you a problem where gravitational acceleration is in terms of density, तो क्या करोगे? G वैसे रखोगे, mass की जगह पे क्या लिखोगे? Rho 4/3 r cube upon r square. R square in this will get cancelled. So what is small g? Is this clear? This is the equation number 1. Is this clear, students? Gravitational acceleration in terms of density of Earth.
Sir, how did you get that 4/3 pi?
That's volume of a sphere, my dear. What's the volume of the sphere? This is volume.
Okay, yes, got it.
4/3 pi r cube. क्या ये clear हुआ, students? Everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, suppose if I ask you, students, suppose if I now take this body within the Earth's core, because we are trying to go for G at a certain depth. Students, we want to get the formula for this. अगर इस body को मैं यहाँ पे कुछ depth ले लेता, तो now can you tell me what is the distance between the two masses? Will the distance between the two masses will
R
be
minus D.
Yeah, r minus d. What is the distance? What is the distance, students? Is it capital R, small d, or r minus d? Students?
Minus
The
D.
body is taken inside the Earth's core, students. What is the distance between the two masses?
R minus D.
R minus d, ना? क्योंकि gravitational force acts always along the line joining the center of the mass, students. ये center हो गया. यानी जब ये अंदर गया तो ध्यान से देखना. अभी मैं अपना imaginary sphere दिखाता हूँ, students. यानी अगर ये मास अंदर चला गया तो स्टूडेंट्स ये जो मैटर है ना, पीछे का मैटर, इसको तुम्हें निग्लेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. नाउ वी डोंट कंसीडर दिस मैटर एट ऑल. ये अर्थ मैटर का हमको निकालना पड़ेगा. नाउ आई हैव टू गो फॉर ओनली दिस पार्ट ऑफ योर मैटर. दैट मीन्स व्हाट डिड आई चेंज? What did I change? Sir, you changed the mass. What is the gravitational acceleration at this depth? Answer the question. What is the gravitational acceleration at this depth? तो formula क्या होगा? So gravitational acceleration at this depth is g तो constant होगा, independent of material medium. Mass सर वो नहीं होगा, अब ये m dash हो जाएगा. Mass change होगा क्योंकि अभी आप यही पार्ट ले रहे हो, टिक पार्ट ले रहे हो, पीछे वाला पार्ट तो चला गया. What is the distance? R minus d the whole square. क्या ये clear हुआ सबको?
Yes.
If I take a body inside the Earth's core at a certain depth, students, so my mass will not be m, it will be m dash. Now, if somebody asks me what exactly m dash will be, the density of Earth will remain constant, but volume will change. Now, what is the new volume? 4/3 pi. Radius क्या हो जाएगा? R minus d the whole cube. क्या ये clear हुआ, students?
Yes, sir.
Now can I substitute m dash over here? Yes. तो देखो g को वैसे लिखा मैंने, m dash को क्या लिखा? Rho 4/3 pi R minus d the whole cube upon R minus d the whole square. Is this getting cancelled? Agreed?
Yes.
So what is the answer now? It's g rho 4/3 pi R minus d. So what's the gravitational acceleration at a certain depth? What is the gravitational acceleration on the Earth's surface in terms of density? Can I get a relation between these two? Depth and surface. Take the ratio. GD upon G. Take the ratio. ये numerator में लिखता हूँ. ध्यान से देखना students. G rho 4/3 pi R minus D upon denominator G rho 4/3 pi R. Do we have any cancellation? Yes. What's my answer? As a common LCM. So students, did you get the formula for acceleration and gravity at a certain depth? What's the formula? Gravitational acceleration at a certain depth is equal to gravitational acceleration on the Earth's surface into bracket 1 minus d by capital R. This is the formula for gravitational acceleration at a certain depth. Is this clear, students? Students, are you getting it?
Yes, sir.
So gravitational acceleration on the Earth's surface is gm by r square. मैंने मास को डेंसिटी वॉल्यूम मिलेगा. अगर मैं ऑब्जेक्ट को अंदर लेता हूँ तो ये वाला मैटर मुझे निगलेक्ट करना पड़ेगा. I take only the matter between mass and capital M. Distance between them will not be now r or d, it will be r minus d. Using the formula for gravitational acceleration g m dash upon r square, r minus d whole square. Mass, density remains same, volume will be different. Substituting back over here, taking the ratio small g1 minus d by r. So that's a formula for gravitational acceleration at a certain depth. Agreed? Students?
Yes, sir.
Now the part which is left to be done, 3 things to be done, students. Listen carefully. Kepler's laws, which are very easy. Okay. The potential at a point we consider and potential difference, gravitational potential difference. Second one, and third, energy. These 3 things. If in case if I get time, I'll be trying to pick it up in the next lecture. Clear over, students? All of you all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please see to that you browse your books also, both your textbooks also. If you have any kind of query regarding whatever I've done it, if in case we have a next schedule, whenever it is, if it's there, certainly you can ask me, don't worry about that. Okay, but restrict yourself to the textbook, try to go to the textbook and revise it from there also. Okay?
Sir,
Yeah, Mulo.
sir, I had one general doubt.
Hmm.
Sir, for finding the kinetic energy, what does this mean on an incline of 1 in 5?
What?
Sir, there is one question numerical in that they have said on an incline of 1 in 5.
Incline 1 and 5. That means its height is 1 and the hypotenuse is 5. 1:5 का ratio. Slope
Okay,
दिया
sir,
हुआ है
got
ना? Slope दिया है ना?
So the question is, 55 kg man holds a weight of 20 kg on his head. What is the work done by him against gravity if he moves the distance of 20 meters on an incline of 1 in 5?
हाँ तो बोलिए ना 1:5 ये बराबर है. तो इंक्लाइन प्लेन के बारे में बता रहा मैं क्या. तो ये तुम्हारा 1 हो जाएगा, ये तुम्हारा 1 हो जाएगा और ये 5 हो जाएगा.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay?
Thank you, sir.
चलो, we'll wind up the sessions, okay?
Thank you, sir. Bye, sir.
Bye bye.
Sir.